From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
Tonight on Q2, flames of fury.
A popular Shepherd restaurant burns to the ground in a fire. Tonight we'll have the latest on where the investigation stands.
Community was up and down the road, back behind our house. Everybody just watching. It was so sad.
Plus election day, and 4 candidates are in the running for Billings mayor. As we wait for results, we'll take you through the races.
And a bundle of joy.
They're expensive. We have to buy a lot of them, having twins.
A Billings baby is up for National Baby of the Year. We'll meet her and hear what is making the competition extra special.
The MTN 530 News starts right now.
Well, good evening and thanks for joining us on this Tuesday. I'm Russ Riesinger.
And I'm Andrea Lutz. Tonight, the Shepherd community is reeling after flames tore through a longtime local favorite, the Feedlot Steakhouse.
At this hour, investigators are combing through the damage, trying to figure out what sparked that fire.
Well, our Will Wagner was in Shepherd today speaking with those who worked there for decades, and they say that loss feels personal.
He joins us now with the very latest. Will?
That's right. This fire hits hard for folks in Shepherd. Feedlot Steakhouse wasn't just a restaurant, it was part of the community. Tonight, smoke still lingered as investigators from the ATF, the state fire marshal, and local departments worked to find out what caused it. For those who spent years inside, watching it burn was heartbreaking.
A neighbor called and he said, "You gotta go look outside." And I came out and it was ablaze. It was just flames shooting from the ceiling.
Deborah McDonald worked at the Feedlot Steakhouse for 23 years. She lived just next door.
The community was up and down the road, back behind our house. Everybody just watching. It was so sad.
The steakhouse is currently under a contract for deed and was closed for renovation since October 15th.
Our last day was the 15th, so about a week before that, she came in and said that she was closing the restaurant. As soon as she took over, we were more than welcome to reapply if we wanted.
Drones could be seen flying over, investigating the extensive damage. Yellowstone County response vehicles were on site, and a federal agent was expected on scene later in the day. While the cause of this fire isn't expected to be known for days, the people in this community are already missing what once was.
People from town come out. Lots of people that would have their Christmas parties, their wedding receptions. I think it'll be missed.
Well, tonight it's decision time in Billings as voters will elect a new mayor. 4 mayoral candidates with 4 very different visions for the city's future are seeking the office. From fresh, youthful energy to decades of public service, voters are weighing what kind of leadership they want to guide Montana's largest city.
Tonight, voters in Billings face a pivotal choice. 4 candidates, each promising a different vision for the city's future. Mike Nelson leans on his business background, pointing to safety, economic growth, and quality of life as the city's top priorities.
You know, you can't do one without the other. We need a workforce for the more jobs that we need. We need more housing to house the new workers and things like that. And it needs to be affordable.
Amanda Hausler brings youthful energy to the race, saying it's time for new voices to be heard.
I'm actually in the same situation as everybody else. I don't have a car and I'm not working. I'm living on my student loans. So it's like, am I paying the rent? Am I buying food? What am I doing?
Jennifer Owen focuses her campaign on families and transparency, urging residents to get involved in local decisions.
Government that impacts us every single day. It's the one where people can have the loudest and most impactful voice. And so I want to put those issues out to the public so that they feel like they can engage and have a voice and understand what's going on.
And longtime public servant Mike Boyette highlights his decades of experience, saying he's ready to lead on public safety and city management.
The council and the mayor are part-time positions. I plan on being there full-time, 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. This is what I do. This is me. If I go into it, I'm going to go into it full hand, full force.
As the polls close tonight, the decision is now in the hands of Billings voters, choosing which vision will shape the city's next chapter.
Meanwhile, Billings City Council will receive a makeover with 11 candidates vying for 5 wards. Ward 1 will definitely see someone new with Mark Nicholson and David Redmond up for election. This is to replace Ed Gulick, who is not seeking a second term. It's 3 candidates for Ward 2, Ernest Hammer, former Yellowstone County Commissioner, Dennis Pittman, and Cassie Strong. This is to replace Jennifer Owens, who opted to run for mayor after 1 term. Amy Aguirre and incumbent TJ Rogers will battle it out for Ward 3. Rogers was appointed to this seat back in February when Dennis Joy took a spot in the state legislature. Daniel Tidswell and Andrew Lindley are the 2 candidates in Ward 4. Tidswell is the incumbent seeking a second term. And rounding it out, the candidates Tony O'Donnell and Patrick Ulp will give Ward 5 a fresh face heading into the new year. This is to replace Tom Rupsis, who is not seeking a second term on council.
Those results are expected around 8:15 tonight, but getting those ballots counted is proving a little bit harder than it has in years past.
Yeah, it comes after a new requirement this election cycle to sign the envelope and put your birth year on it as well. That led to a lot of confusion, with hundreds of ballots being rejected.
It's an issue our Charlie Kleps is tracking tonight. He joins us live from the courthouse. So, Charlie, where do things stand now?
Yeah, you guys are exactly right. That's been one of the big stories of this election night, is that change in the election process, with many of these votes being worked on by our officials here at the elections office to make sure they're counted. I actually spoke with Yellowstone County Administrator Dana Cosby today, who explained that the rejection rate is trending down in the right direction. That was as of 2 p.m. this afternoon. The rejection rate sat at about 3% of the 29,000 ballots cast. Just a week ago, the rejection rate was at 5% with just under 18,000 ballots cast. So that's a significant drop, with more votes still planning to come in tonight. Cosby says that's because of this change. Voters will have until at 5 p.m. tomorrow to fix any issues with their rejected ballots, with her office dedicated to making sure every voice is heard.
There's still time to make those corrections, but we encourage voters, if they have any questions, please come down to the office. We're happy to answer any of those questions. Give us a call. We can answer them over the phone. Still might require that trip into the office, but we're here to help serve the voters of Yellowstone County.
Cosby also confirmed that those 29,000 votes only make up for 41% of the total votes in Yellowstone County, and in a typical election like this one, it ends up being more like 50%. So there will still be plenty of votes counted tonight, with those first batch of results coming after 8 p.m. But we'll have all of those results for all of those races, both on air and online. For now in Billings, I'm Charlie Kleps, MTN News.
All right, thank you, Charlie.
Yeah. A political giant with deep Wyoming roots has died. Former Vice President Dick Cheney, who helped shape U.S. policy, passed away at the age of 84. Cheney's career spanned more than 40 years, from Wyoming's lone seat in Congress to the West Wing. He served as President Ford's chief of staff, defense secretary under President George Bush Sr., and later as vice president under George W. Bush. Cheney played a central role in the war in Iraq. He was honored with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Despite his sharp criticism of Donald Trump in recent years, he ordered flags lowered in Cheney's honor.
Well, it's hard to miss a massive new addition to the Billings skyline. Construction is underway on the $1 billion St. Vincent Regional Hospital, and the star of the show is a crane unlike anything Montana's ever seen. This giant machine stretches 400 feet into the air, weighs more than 1 million pounds. It's believed to be the largest crane ever used in the state. Workers say it took 27 semi-trucks to haul in the pieces from Minnesota and Washington, and 8 days to put it all together. The crane will be on site for the next year and a half, helping lift the new regional medical center into place.
All right, continuing coverage tonight, Custer County is moving forward with plans for a new mental health hospital in Miles City.
Leaders say that they have the space and workforce to meet the state's needs and could become a model for care.
Our Hannah Pettiferi was on site today, digging into why this location is being considered.
I think there's definitely a need for it, and people have to sacrifice a little bit for the overall good. I think you got to do what you got to do.
Greg Haydall has lived in Miles City for 4 decades, and he recognizes the push to bring a proposed state mental hospital to Miles City.
I understand some of the stigma that comes along with mental health and facilities and neighbors or having them neighbor you. And but I think overall, for the greater good of the community or the state, I guess, especially, that there's definitely a need for it.
Custer County Commissioner Jeff Fakosh agrees, and he adds, Miles City is a great location for the mental health facility.
I'm standing in a small subdivision that would sit right next to the proposed site, right behind the Pine Hills Correctional Facility.
So the state already owns 500 acres here. It just makes perfect sense to put a state facility on state land. There's water and sewer, and it's close proximity to the interstate, downtown amenities.
Fakosh says in addition to the jobs the hospital will bring to the area, it will also create other jobs.
There are people looking for work close to home. A lot of our people in the area do traveling medical to other locations. And we have people coming in to work at our other medical facilities from outside the area. So obviously there's a draw of Miles City to the medical profession. They just need a good place to work.
He believes it's also an opportunity economically to broaden that base.
That'll help us in the criminal justice system to provide timely assessments of these people and either get them adjudicated in court or committed civilly for their mental health problems.
And in addition to the community impact, Greg says having the hospital here could be very personal for a lot of people.
I know from personal issues with some family members that we've dealt with some mental health issues over the years.
In Miles City, Hannah Pettiferry, MTN News.